Welcome, welcome. Sorry to say that wonderful music will not be on the recording, so if you're missing this, you just missing this. Hey, how you doing? It's good. I think I'm gonna start playing music. You know what I mean? We have like theme shows and stuff. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good evening or good morning, depending on where you're coming to us from. It is another beautiful day here in Florida. A little chilly. I'm in Florida at the moment, and it is cold. You should be able to see the screen. The screen displays a portfolio. The portfolio is also on our members page. Also on our members page, down at the bottom, you will see 3 potential new plays. And their potential, because I don't know, I mean, we have our trigger prices there. They may trigger, but I want to make sure you guys are aware of those plays. We'll go over them in just a second. We are doing well, right? Doing well, I think, overall. But to be fair, the market's doing well. Right? The market's basically been straight up. We've got almost 6% on the year so far. I realize we are up just about 4% on our open positions, and we would like to keep that going forward. Right? Not stellar. We could do better, right? Can always do better. Should always be trying to do better. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we can do. One thing I want to talk about, what's up with this AEO? That was a real bummer. We're currently down almost 4% on that one. We were off to such a good start, and then just got smacked. Didn't hit our stop price, but it got smacked. Tried to recover a little bit today. I don't get those warm fuzzies anymore from AEO. So out of our new plays, that one's kind of treating us wrong. Guess you got to have those every now and then, but I'd rather not, Boeing's doing all right. Well, let me close this real quick. If you guys are playing along on Boeing, had another good day today. Took out all new highs. Seems to be a lot of things doing that at the moment. One would have to say optimism is high, no? Yeah, you got it. People are excited. People are excited to buy. So, there we go. All right, so Boeing's doing well. Our newest position out of these here. Off to a good start. Can't complain when you get in and nothing but straight up. Don't get used to it, though. That's not how it usually happens. We're currently sitting up about 4% on that one. But it kind of doesn't feel good because of what AEO did. That really hurts. I don't enjoy that at all. You say, well, we're only down 4%, big deal. But I don't think we're walking away from that one. That's a tough one. I don't like when stocks do that. Other than that, we have BCPC pushing up a little higher since we last talked. We're up 7.5% on that one. MTGE did not take out the highs just yet. That is one symbol that we are hoping would be really nice. We'll get a Boeing type move if we get BCPC over this $27, give or take. What was it? Yeah, $26.75. We'll get some activity there. Right, so we're hoping that takes out the highs. We're just in a little bit early. Right, so we're doing okay on that one. Not down too much. Hoping to be up quite a bit. So we'll see. Most of the other names, I mean, look, the market's up a few days in a row. So to have a quiet kind of day where nothing really happened, you got some up positions, down positions, symbols pulling back. You need that, right? Think about it this way. If a stock, okay, look at Boeing. You're going to get real bored with Boeing here in a minute. Because when a stock just takes off so fast, you get to a point where people can't buy it anymore. You just can't justify paying such a high price. Even if you don't use charts and you look at it and you go, wow, I'm not going to pay almost the highest price in the last 5 days. I can't do that. So think of all the investors out there, all the traders out there. They're all saying the same thing, going, I don't know if I want to chase it any further. And so when it does it so quickly, you're going to have this long sort of just hanging out, catching up, letting everything do its thing, or it pulls back and you got to sit through that. I much prefer, remember Tex? Remember Tex last year? We played this one, very simple breakout, nothing exciting here, remember? Playing Tex over the summer. and it was not very exciting. We had this slow, just every couple days it'd go up a little and come down a little, go up a little, come down a little. Happy gap in there, and then, oh, not much, right? See how it just went sideways right in here? This is what I'm talking about. If symbol goes up too quick, you see a lot of this, and it gets boring. So I'd rather not have that. I mean, I know it's exciting, and you guys say, well, we bought a stock of Boeing, and look, it's just going up nonstop. That's great, but unless you're willing to take these short 5% profits, something like that, you're going to have to sit through a little bit of pullback, or just have it sit in here and do nothing. So I'd much rather have a stock that, we get in, say, back here, and it just slowly goes up. That boring sort of 0.5% a day. Occasionally it's down 1%. I'd much rather have that because you'll get that longer move. Remember the other one? Until it popped. Remember SIG? We had that thing and just going and going. Look at the weekly chart. It just went up and then down a little, then up some more, and then down a little. Finally it blasted off. We got out of the way. Looks like we missed a little bit there. Oh, we got trailed out on the last little quarter of it too, I think, if I remember right. But see how boring it was. I'd rather have that. And it's not the most exciting, and we have new members coming in, and they want to see a bunch of trades, and they want to get in there and do it. It takes a little time to build that portfolio of all these symbols that could just slowly go up like that. So, personally, I'd rather have these. But when something like Boeing happens, what are you going to do? You could choose to take the money and guess that that's the top, and then if it pulls back, you can buy back in. Your money. You can do how you want to do it, but you might miss the next move. And there's nothing like, look at GIS. We took our profits on GIS, and look what happened. We remember it gapped up a little bit and then shot up that day, and we got out at 45. That was where our second target was. After all that time, remember this slow, boring mover? Then it got exciting. It hit 45. And you say, well, at the time we thought, well, that's a great exit. Back up, right? You go, hey, look at that. Good exit. It's extended. It could pull back. Well, what happened? Look, it just kept going. Didn't really pull back, did it? So, when you're playing something like Boeing, I know some of you, I got the emails. That's why I'm focused on this. You could say, well, that's a great run. Let me get out. It's up to you. If you're an active trader, you like getting in and out of positions and playing the game a little bit more than others, no problem. If you don't mind missing something, that's fine too. I'd rather just hang on to it and prefer that my stocks just slowly go up in that kind of boring way. Remember that we did raise our target on FBHS. Here, again, here's the screenshot of our portfolio positions, but it's also on the page, so you're welcome to grab it there if you can't see it too clearly. We did raise our target to 37 on FBHS. Looks like it's going to hit it. Right? This would be a good example of that slow grinder. Right? I know it doesn't sound exciting, but this is really what you'd like to have. You could have 10, 15 stocks just doing this. We took just a simple breakout, and just to have it itty-bitty every week, almost like you don't even notice it's going up. Your P&L is moving so slow. See how much you can get out of that? It all adds up. Now, if you just you're joining us here and you just take one play, give me a heads up. I'll let you know which ones not to take. We talked about Boeing being exciting, right? If it could get over that high, and really that's what we've been getting. We do not. I would normally not suggest this just as a one play. You're just doing one thing, but we said, hey, if it gets over there, I bet you it gets exciting like Yahoo did. If you didn't get a chance to hear that, go back to two classes ago before our entry. Hey, you can watch that video. Right? Let's see. If you get a chance, can we talk about the opinion on GDX at the all-time lows? We had a big day yesterday. Yeah, it did have a big day yesterday. I was happy that we're still in one of our gold miners. A little disappointed in that we did get out of that AUY, but nothing that says we can't do it again. And when you look at that AUY, see how we do this here. See, we've got another logo play possibly setting up. That's okay. And I like that coming after such a strong day yesterday. I'd say you could try AUY again, right? We'd just say we just barely got stopped out of that one. We have our AEM, and then you got to use your own judgment. You could say, well, here's our list of gold mining stocks, ones that I like to trade right here. Gold and silver, not just gold. I just generally say gold mining, but it's gold and silver. You just got to decide. I mean, do you want to be focused on that sector right now? You're bottom picking. It's fun to pick the bottom of a stock, but it's not usually very successful. So you just say, well, I got one. Do I need another one? Maybe AUY over here with the logo play if I get another one right in here. That might work out. And you might find out tomorrow or the next day on that one. We'll see. Yesterday was convincing for me, I think. I was excited to have at least one gold miner. Wished I had the two. And AUI did good today, too. At one point, it was the only symbol that was in the green out of all of them. So it showed a little extra strength if you happen to check it out midday. Question we have: do you suggest buy stop orders for the new potential plays? That's how we do our entries. Yeah. So going back when we did these last entries in here, you'll see the post on the chart, and we said, okay, if it hits 78, we can get in. If you can't be in front of the computer, you could use buy stop orders. Yep. And was it you that was asking me the other day about good till canceled, having to put those in every day on the Elite Trader for view trade? Or was that Mara? Oh, okay. Wait and see if she's around, because I got an answer to that. I never noticed, because you just do it. It does it the same every time. Anyways, for the, you know what, I might as well, oh, I was going to just say that. I might as well just say it. We're being recorded. But whoever asked that, when you're using the view trade platform here, and if you have the old version, yeah, it's called the Orbis platform, and you want to place let's say you want to have these orders in ahead of time. Now they're working on a really cool OCO order for, I know one of you asked this, come on now, fess up, who was it? Tell the truth. When you want to do one of those orders where you say, okay, I want to buy it at 78, and then when I buy it, I'd like for there to be a stop automatically put in, down somewhere else. They're working on that. That's not in there. The question that I'm answering is for the person that asked, yeah, you could do OCO. It's just called a range order. So they use a different name. Used to be called alternative orders. So if you have the really old platform, it's alternative. Otherwise, it's called range. Anyways, some people were having issues with, well, I've got the long-term, or I've got the ViewTrade Elite platform, and I'm putting in my limit orders to sell, and I'm putting in my good till canceled orders, but they blank out at the end of the day. They disappear. So you actually just use the night route. Select the night route, and and it'll stick. And then you just select good till cancel, and you can do it that way. So at least this is on the recording, and someone can hear that later. Okie dokie. So then, yeah, so then these entries here is we'll go over the plays here. What you do is we use buy stop orders. You got it. So if you can't be in front of the computer, no big deal. You can also do that on the web version as well. So it doesn't matter which platform you have, you could do the same thing. Now they're called buy stop orders or buy stop limit, buy stop market, depends on how you want to place them. Most common is to do buy stop market. Most protective is to do buy stop limit. Your choice. What is the best route for day trading is a question. Well, there's always a fine balance between liquidity and rebate if you do that. So, your call there. I don't think usually the liquidity is an issue. Edge used to be a problem back in the day. That's your call. If you're doing the whole rebate thing, you got to look into their current fees. They changed that a lot. And then one of the routes, let me look at them, see if I remember which one it was. one of the routes, I can't remember which one it was. They inverted the fees for take and remove, or take and add. Oh, well, that doesn't matter. You can use the black route, you can use the ARCA, or like you're saying there. I've never used that one. I'm not sure what. You're just going for liquidity. ARCA, Edge are pretty good. And yeah. Yeah, you could use that or night too. Just depends on how active you are. I think they'll shy you away from night if you're too active. So for these plays here, the three that we're talking about, you could do the buy stop orders. And what we're looking for is basically the exact same thing that we've been looking for on all the other symbols, just like our Boeing, move out of a range, AEO, a move out of a range. Seems like everybody's kind of attracted to that right now. Seems to be pretty popular by all the other players in the game, and that's fine. So Macy's we talked about on Tuesday, and we're looking for Macy's to essentially do the same thing. We don't want to mess with it until it gets out of the range, because we don't want to have to play this whole range, meaning if you buy it somewhere right in here and then it has to drop all the way down, we don't want to mess with that. We want to play it right when everybody else is about to play it, right up and over the highs. Yeah, no problem. We can put the screen back up here. So these are the three. Now remember also when you log into your page, you can check this out as well. So, and it might be a little clearer. So Macy's, we've got an entry possibility of 42. That gets us back up to that high and hopefully over it. And so that's Macy's. Again, it's another retail stock. Right, so if retail becomes unfavored here real quick, we got a handful of retail names. United Technologies, this is a pricey one. Now, the reason why, usually we don't have 3 entries in one class. I try to, some of you guys just like to play 1 or 2, and that's fine. And some of you like to play the options as well. So I stuck this UTX in there. It's a little higher priced, right? So it's some people don't like playing the higher price stocks. But this UTX, we'll go to that real quick. We're doing something similar. We're moving out of a long-term range. I mean, really long-term. Look how far back this is, going back to 2011. And that'll get some attention. That'll be one that gets talked about. Very big company here in the States. And we've already kind of poked up over that high. I'm just saying let's make sure that everybody dives in. So let's go with 92 because notice the volume's going down right in here. The volume's dropping a little bit. We had one good day that took us up to the high. But I see the volume dropping, so I'm saying let's just get over this. Get over this bar here, and we'll take the chance that that we're moving out of this range for good. All right, so that's United Technologies. Good stock. Always a fun one to trade. And you can see it here on the screen. UTX. I give you a heads up here that the $100 mark can be a headache. So I was tempted to put both targets at 99, like 99.50, somewhere in there, right under 100. We'll talk about it as it gets closer to that. We'll talk about that $100. If you notice, like McDonald's is the last one I can think of. See this McDonald's going back here? So McDonald's gets up, hits that 100 mark. That's a big number for stocks. Anytime you hit whole numbers in general, but these whole 100 numbers, that was a big deal. So I really don't want to say, oh, yay, look, we bought UTX. It's moving up out of this range. And I don't want to get smacked just because it hits 100. So our first target's at 99. So we're going to get a little less than 8% on that one. And then we'll just, we'll shoot for the 101 at the moment, but we'll raise our trail up real tight just in case it falls off of the $100. You know what I mean? So that's probably my only warning on that one. But I know some of you like to play these symbols, so I wanted to include it. It's a good pattern. I mean, it's a good play. I'm going to play it too, but we might adjust our target just a little bit. I mean, our stop. We're going to adjust our stop a little bit faster than you normally would on some of the other ones. And the volume that I'm talking about, when we go to get away from McDonald's here. When we go to United Technologies is the trading volume. So these stochastics or your indicators are always on a separate, it's a separate portion of the chart. The volume is just, this is the actual shares that trade in hands. Yep. All right, and then the other one here is WY. Remember we looked at this one going back, what, a week? What, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago we looked at this one to play it over 31, and it didn't hit our entry price. So we said, well, let's walk away. Let's look for something else here. And we're coming back to it. I like this symbol a lot. And we're going to say this time 30.75 is our entry. Again, you can go on the page, the members page, and grab this. We're looking for 30.75 on WY, and this is a slow mover. So if you're just joining us and you say, well, I'm just going to play one stock, you know, I'll just see how this goes, I would suggest you don't play this one. This is a stock that moves pretty slow, and if you like to build a portfolio, that's great. We're looking for 30.75. If you just want to play one stock or buy the option straight up, that probably should do a different one. So I'd say skip this one. All right, so those are the three names that we're looking at going forward. With the addition of that AUY, you guys want to try that again. Again, they did have a great day. It's a good eye, Steve, to see that it had such a good, strong reversal day near those lows. And remember, AUY is very close to its long-term 200. Let's pull that up. So maybe that's why it got a little more attention today. Nice steep drop, and this red line is the 200 moving average on the weekly chart, right? And so maybe it got a little more attention because of that. Volume was good yesterday. The excitement was good yesterday. And it's totally normal to see an off day, meaning a slightly red day, after having such an exciting move. Same with the market. Remember, we gapped up, had a huge exciting day 3 days ago, and then yesterday was very quiet. Even today was a little quiet. Totally normal. You think of that as everybody got excited and piled in the other day, and now they're sitting back going, wait, what do I do now? Or should I be in this play? They're just thinking it out. And it's good because when you see the volume, see on the, I'm going to blow this up, make it real big. Let's do that. So you don't worry about it as long as, yeah, look at that, there we go. As long as when you have the quiet day right here, after a large day, as long as the volume is quiet, meaning less than the day up. And that just tells you that nobody sold. So nobody decided, oh, that's it, I'm out, and they decided to sell, or the volume would be higher. Right, so that just shows that most people are happy being long. They're happy to wait for the market to move higher. And the others that are in the market, they're waiting for it to pull back just to see if they can buy back here. A little too extended for them. So if you just put those two things together, you're in good shape. Again, like with this AUY. Great, exciting day. That's fine. When the off day has less volume, it's close. But when it has less volume, not too bad. And again, you're picking the bottom of a stock, so we only do a handful of these a year because it can be really worth it. It could be a nice long-term play, but if you're going to do all of these all the time and look for stocks that are hitting like that, it's not an easy life to live. Just ask Dan Loeb. Is it Dan Loeb who's watching? Big fund manager that likes to pick bottoms. Yeah, so that's that. And here's another example, by the way. Great pop, good, exciting move up and over the high. So it's not picking the bottom. This is one where we moved up over a high, and we bought it on this day, and everybody was excited to buy it that day. The very next day, not much happening. Let me blow it up. Kind of our lesson of the night. The next day, not much right here is happening, and not much is happening on really little volume. You love that. It just shows that there's nobody trying to sell right there. Everybody's excited. Everybody's willing to hang on to the stock, and so that's always a good sign. Here's another example over here. You get a big up day and a little tiny quiet day. That's okay. Not a big deal. when they come at the end of a move like this, all right, you got to sit through a pullback. Just like right here, we got to sit through a pullback probably. So you just go, well, long term, I like the pattern. Everything's cool, but we're going to have a handful of people here that say, oh, 4% is enough for me. I'm going to get out. So we just have to deal with that. What percentage of the account do you allocate to each trade? Personally, I like to do 5%, so I can save some money for day trading and other things, right? If you want to do that. You always have the opportunity to add. So if you buy 5%, take 5% of your account, buy it, and then you decide you want to add more, there's money left over, right? If you want to day trade a little bit, that's fine too. Some people do 10. Some people say I don't day trade, and I don't want to have 20 symbols. Keep in mind our portfolio right now is very small. As the market moves up, our portfolio gets smaller. As the market pulls back, we wait for our opportunities, and then we load up, right? So our portfolio is very small right now. And some people say, well, I don't want to have 15, 20 symbols, so what if I just play 10 symbols and I'll do like 7 to 10%? That's fine too. The point being that we do a percentage of the account, which is really kind of an old school portfolio management style. There's nothing fancy about it. But that's what that is. So what I would use what he suggests the entry for AUY, I would just wait right over this 1450 here, right here, just to be safe, because the closing price today is 14 and a quarter basically. So I just say 1450. It gives you a chance to see it start to move up already, and it gives you a chance to see some volume. And since I know you're in front of the computer throughout the day, it gives you a chance to watch your lower time frame charts, and you get to see is it pushing, or is it just kind of floating lower and then it goes up a little. It gives you a chance to see that buying volume before you do anything. Now remember, there's nothing wrong with. So I don't like pointing these plays out a lot, because then everybody thinks, yay, we're going to start picking the bottom of stocks. And I'm not good at that. Remember, it doesn't matter if you, and 1450 is the number, right? But it doesn't matter if you make 7%, 8% from here to here because you happen to pick the bottom. Let's say you got lucky. Or it doesn't matter if you go over to Boeing or on one of the other ones and you make your 7 to 8% up here, right? Doesn't matter. So there's some guy somewhere that picked the bottom and then sold in wherever he sold, one of these red bars. I don't know. That's okay. That's hard to do consistently. So it doesn't matter where you make it, just as long as you know you can consistently make it. So I'd rather make it up here once I've seen everybody else dive in. It's okay. Just, it's what makes a market. Yeah, you could also say that. You could say, who did that a while back? Oh, I think it was Bill. Bill here? Bill's not here. Bill came, so one of our members came up with this in the past, said, you know what, when we do these bottom picking plays, that's great that you wait for that logo play, Dustin, and I think that's great, whatever, he liked it. But he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait, let all you guys dive in. I'm going to let the stock, I'm going to watch it go up, do its up days, its down days, whatever it's going to do. And then he was going to wait for the logo play above the 50-day moving average. He was a big 50-day moving average buff. Loved to play pullbacks to him and rallies up into him. So he said, what do we see? Let's see what the chances of success are if we let it get over first, then play the logo play from there. Would that really be good? So that would be what he would wait for. You could do that. Again, he might have made his 8%, or I think he shoots for 5% actually. He was a low baller, but doesn't matter if you take it tomorrow at 1450 and make your 8% here to here, or whether Bill waits and lets it get over the 50-day and then takes it up here and from here to here. So it doesn't matter. It's the same percentage. A lot of people get wrapped up in that because you hear all the time, got to buy that stock cheap. You got to buy on pullbacks, sell on rallies. I question that a little bit. Why not buy on rallies? Why not? Because then you buy when you see everybody else buying. But there's a strategy for everything. So doesn't matter how you do it, as long as the dollars add up. No, on the daily chart, you would wait for the 50-day on the daily because there's a strategy. I taught this lady that lives in Daytona Beach in Florida. I told her she wasn't an investor. She didn't want to do anything. She just said, I just want to buy a stock and hang on to it. I want to know when it's time. Big name stock. She had some favorites that she had. But I said, well, all right, just do this then. Find the stock that's been in a downtrend for a long time, under the 50-day moving average, and then wait for it to close above the 50-day moving average after a long time. You wait even a week past that if you want, and then buy that stock. And so she actually got pretty creative with it and how she would wait for it to get back above it, and then she called it a little V pattern above the 50-day, and that's fine. But in this case, I'm talking about the 50-day. Yep. And we did so we did these plays here. Seems like some of you are still interested in that AUI. That's cool too. It looks good. I mean, you got let's look at the GDX for Steve here. The GDX now, just for people that don't know, is the exchange traded fund that owns most, if not all, of these symbols, including a few others that are not listed that I don't trade. And so this one symbol right here owns all of these symbols. So if all of these symbols start going up, this one symbol will go up. So if you say, well, I believe that the gold mining sector is going higher, you don't have to guess which one's going to do it or buy all of them. You could just buy this one symbol. And if the gold mining sector as a whole goes up, this symbol will go up. If they continue to drop, this one's going to drop as well. So we use this as kind of a barometer, right? We use it as our guide to see, wow, the gold mining stock, this is a bottom picking play. Understand the risk when you go into a bottom picking type of play. You know what I mean? So we're using that as our example. So there are others you could do too. We'll go over those next time. All the different ETFs for the different sectors, and then you can, you could just play the sector if you want. No doubt this is a beat up sector though, right? Oof. Whereas you look at something like this, the semiconductor sector, the SMH, and you say, well, okay, so all of these, do I have it listed? Right here. No, that's tech. I just have the tech names. Yep. So where you say this sector here, it's doing well. Yeah. Nobody's really talking about this one. This one's doing all right. Nothing real exciting, but it's doing fine. Well, the banks, the market's going to rally. The banks will always go with it. Banks are doing well. All right. So you could choose to play just that sector. That was the point. Short story. Oh. So those of you that came early, we had a little music playing, and I guess we have a request for some Broadway music next time. You want to hear some Wicked? Les Mis is popular right now. All right, listen, I won't keep you guys too much longer. Check the members page. We've got our charts on there if you'd like to see the charts of the symbols that we're looking at. Got a couple to look at going over the next few days. The hopes are the market pulls back, has a couple off days, and relaxes. We'll get a much better move to the upside if we do. So at the moment, looks like futures are down a little bit. Oh, just a hair. No big deal. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Got a handful of symbols to look at, and we'll keep on managing the symbols we have. We want to do better, right? So we're going to keep going. As always, those of you that left early, this is recorded. Will be posted on the page in the members area. If you have any questions, would like to send me an email. Always available, dustin@tradingwings.com. And I think we've covered it all. Have a great rest of your day or evening, wherever you're at, and we'll talk soon. Adios. And yep, charts, by the way. The charts are on the members page. So if you log into tradingwings.com and go to TW Investors, it's the blue tab at the top. You'll see the charts, and the spreadsheet here also is on there, as well as the recordings of prior classes and other charts. All right.